Welcome back to the Milestone Moment, where we interview top producing agents and ask them about their start and a little bit about their business. Today, I'm so excited to welcome my good friend and amazing realtor partner, Beth Traverso. Beth, welcome to the show.
Hi, Adrian. Thank you so much for having me. This is so much fun to be here. We've known each other for years, but it's just nice to kind of sit down and chat a little bit.
And obviously, a lot of these things I know, but our viewers don't. So
Right.
Beth, tell us about how you got your start in real estate and a little bit about
so it's been a long, winding road, a long journey. Started way back in 1998 in Seattle, and it was a different world back then. We're talking pre-Zillow. It was just a really things were done a lot differently back then.
Yeah.
I struggled, honestly, to get started back in the day and never really kind of got my traction as far as my business. And then in 2007, I moved out to the Snoqualmie Valley. Yeah. And then my first child was born right after that, with two other successive ones. And I focused on being a mom for a while. I still had my real estate license, and I was still working just a little bit as things came along here and there. Yeah. And then the great financial crisis happened, and that was an interesting time to be in real estate. There was values were plummeting, just short sales, foreclosures, et cetera. It was a tough time to be in the business. And I kind of reached a point around 2013. So I'm in real estate, my husband construction, and we've been had our investment portfolio. And the great financial crisis kind of took all three of those and turned them upside down. So we were stuck in a tough spot in multiple.
Between both your businesses, totally different, right?
Yeah, and we always thought we can always sell a rental property if we have to, but not if they're upside down. You can't, or you won't get any equity out of that, and your credit would get trashed. So. It left me thinking that I needed to get serious about real estate. I even thought about going back to going to college. I never went to college, but just thinking what other careers might there be for me?
I'm just pulling straws, find something, right?
What can I do? And then I realized, well, I don't really have qualifications to do anything else, and I feel like I can be a really good real estate agent if I do this the right way. So I was like, I just need to go all in and treat the business like a business and build it from scratch. So even though I'd already been in the business for quite some time, at that time, it felt like I was almost like a new agent starting over. But I was motivated because something had to be done, right? Family to support and everything else. So one of those fortuitous things was someone who ended up being my broker and mentor, Matt Van Winkle with Remax at the time, cold called me in 2013, and I answered the call, and he asked if I would be interested in chatting about, I said, I have been thinking about getting back into the business. And he said, oh, well, maybe we could talk about it. And he said, a lot of people know how to be a good real estate agent. I'll teach you how to be a good business person. I'm like, oh, interesting, because I felt like that was the part that didn't fit, that was missing. I'm like, I don't know how to do this as a business. So he gave me a list and basically said, start here, do these things. And it was just I'm very good at following directions. So it's like, all right, this week I'm working on this, and then I work on that. And just consistently over time, just adding.
Love that.
I'm making a long story short, but basically it came to a point where what that really did that was very helpful was it helped me build the foundation to grow upon that. And then one of the things that was on that list was I built out my profile on Zillow when I connected with, here's a little fun fact, it was Sean McConnell that I connected with from Zillow. Good friend. He was with Zillow at the time, and he was my first Zillow rep.
Your sales guy.
And he helped me, and I got a little bit of zip code incarnation, and I wasn't expecting much to happen with it, but then it really took off. And so then I got really Zillow heavy, and that's where we met. I think the first time was at the Zillow Connect or whatever they call that in Vegas, and so that was a big part of my business for a long time. So not as much anymore because things evolve and change. But
oh my gosh, that's such good news for newer agents that are struggling. That they can see like the light at the end of the tunnel, and it just takes the work and the dedication to kind of get there, which you went through. It wasn't like an overnight success by any means, which is
it took many years, but it's still and it's something I still work on all the time. So it's you're never done building your business, but just refining, improving, finding the weak spots, strengthening those weak spots. I definitely made some mistakes along the way, and try to learn from those.
Well, Beth, you have your name recognition, and people, when I talk about you in the marketplace, you've done an amazing job of people just respecting you and built up this reputation in this, all of the probably Puget Sound area, not just Snoqualmie Valley. What do you think you can attribute to like building your name in that way?
Yeah, so really it's about establishing the brand and the farm.
Okay.
So again, one of those checklist items from Matt Van Winkle way back in the time with the day was to start a farm.
Okay.
And I started with a little one in Fall City where I live. And then I consistently every month would mail something.
Yep.
And so that just starts getting that recognition out there in that marketplace.
Yep.
And then expanding it beyond. And through sponsorships, through signage, through my storefront now, or even I've got a branded trailer, which gets a surprising amount of recognition.
Just driving by, I see it all the time.
Okay, I mean, we bought a rental property that was on 202, and I put a trailer there and people see it and comment on it, which is the funniest thing to me.
Yeah.
But also in 2020 or so, I hired a marketing and branding company, and we did a deep dive on a full rebrand.
Okay.
And I think that really was key too, because there's a lot more that goes into it than just a font and a logo.
Yeah.
It's it was months long process, and I feel like that was really good at defining my brand of who I am and who I'm not, who I want to work with.
Yeah.
And everything is designed around that and consistent with that. So
I love that.
That and just it costs a lot of money to maintain. I'm not going to sugarcoat that, but like to have that consistent marketing and farming, it's an expense that needs to be budgeted in, but you have to do it consistently. And if I stopped when it's slow and start up when it's busy, then it will never get the traction. You have to just do that consistently for years. And I've been, so my postcards, for example, like people might just, the branding is very consistent. People see, oh, that's what there she is, and there's what's on there, and they might toss it in the recycle, but then like next month another one comes, and eventually that brand recognition starts to happen.
I heard something like it has to be 5 times before somebody even considers responding, which obviously most agents would do something 2 or 3 times and be like, I'm getting no return. I'm
or like back in the day when I didn't know what I was doing, I would send out, we'd do a circle mailer just for just listed cards, and it's like, oh, well, nobody called off my just listed card. It's like, well, of course they didn't. You have to, it has to be more consistent.
Got 4 other ones from people they've seen 5 times.
And maybe they don't know you, but they know this other person that's been working that area for a very long time. So it does take time, but it's worth, in my opinion, it's worth establishing that and just being consistent with it. And it doesn't matter what, any number of different ways you could do this. It doesn't have to be that method, but.
I love it. Well, this show is called the Milestone Moment. You touched on 3 or 4 just in these conversations. What do you think is the one moment where it all kind of changed for you? Was that meeting Matt? Was that obviously starting the branding with the 2020?
Yeah.
What was that? I know that you
There's
probably have
2, and one I haven't talked about yet.
Let's hear it. What do you got?
So the biggest one really was in that pre-Matt call when I was like, I got to do something here because I feel like bad things are going to happen if I don't make something of this business.
Yeah.
It's like do or die. And that was where I just found the strength to dig deep, with little kids and everything. We're bringing them in the little carriers on the appointments and stuff, but just being like, you do what it takes, and it worked, but just like finding that strength and pulling off of that, and there was really there was no safety net or fallback, so it was like, this must work.
I love that.
So that was the biggest milestone moment. Another one is rewind back to the beginning of my career when I bought my first strictly investment property.
Okay.
So some people know that I'm big in real estate investing. I'm involved with this group, if anyone wants to look on YouTube, called One Rental at a Time. It's a lot of fun.
Cool.
I speak on there once a week, but that group is great. But real estate investing is a big passion of mine. It has been since I bought my first non-owner occupied property back in 2002 in Seattle. It's been life-changing. And I think, thankfully, my friend at the time back then, when I started I had a good year in real estate, he's like, don't buy anything stupid, Beth, go buy a house. And I did. And it was, that just got me thinking, oh, okay, I can do this. And that is a whole another way to use real estate to really build long-term wealth and be a retirement vehicle someday.
Right. I love that. Now, obviously, you've done so much in this industry. For a newer agent, what would be your advice to somebody trying to get started?
Yeah, so there's a lot more resources now than there ever were when I was starting. So you can join a team, interview with different team leaders, see who might be a fit. But teams are great for getting experience because first you got to learn how to do the job. I think you got to learn the skills.
Get some at-bats, get some
you got to learn how to talk to people, practice, get out there, get the opportunities. That's really key. And then again, just kind of like the incremental, it can just be weekly goals of like this week I'm going to do this, and this next week I'm going to add this to my
find an accountability partner if you don't have a team, but that's
accountability,
kind of part of it,
coaching. For me, like coaching has been a big part of it too. So just finding those mentors and coaches and learning. There's a lot of discouragement out there too, but I think find the people that are going to encourage you because there absolutely is lots of opportunity for success out there. I don't care what anybody says. So you just got to find the right person to encourage you in that way.
I love that. So we're fairly a good part through this year and going into next year. Is there anything that you're excited about, either your business changes, anything you see coming up in the market? Like, tell us about
so we've had to dig deep these past 2.5, 3 years or so since the market got more challenging when the rates went up. So I feel like we've really me and my team, we've really honed our skills as listing agents in particular. But I'm excited because I feel like at some point that's going to turn a little bit when eventually rates will, we've been waiting, but they eventually they will come down. And when they do, I think all that pent up demand is going to come back. And so I'm excited about that. As far as what I'm planning on, I honestly feel like I'm in a good spot with my business right now. So I'm not looking to do any big major changes or anything like that. But I think, we're just going to keep working on becoming better and better listing agents.
The pillars of taking care of people, obviously showing up, doing all the things that you've done, building your name and building your brand, and then staying out in front of them with your marketing. All those things are
I'm providing the resources and the full package, all of that. So just going to continue doing that and refining that process and getting out there with the team.
You're doing so well, obviously, not only running your team, but running your own business. And then, like I said, the name recognition you've built out there is second to none. You've been a fantastic guest. Beth, any parting words, anything you want to leave for our people or your viewers on anything that you want to pass on?
Just, keep your chin up, folks.
Get through it, wait for the rates to come down, right? We're already seeing a big change there. We're super excited about this year. I think I said at the start of this power into the new year, this is going to be the year. I actually think it's next year is going to be the year. We're feeling it.
I feel it coming, so just hang in there, keep doing what you do, and do great work, and I look forward to seeing everybody out
Beth,
there.
Thanks so much for being a part of the show.
Yeah, thank you, Adrian. Thanks.
Bye-bye.